Hi there guys, it's Max from Prismatic.org, and if you haven't noticed already, I'm a British guy, which means that I value manners very highly, and it means that I come from a culture, especially within my own family, that cares a lot about other people's feelings, how they're doing, and just tries to make a point of looking after them and abiding by a kind of social etiquette in some circumstances. But I think, having travelled the world a lot, and even before I travelled, to be honest, I think it was quite clear that sometimes that can go a bit too far. But what I mean by that is that when middle-class Westerners like myself travel, we experience things that aren't according to our culture, we can actually get ourselves in a bit of a twist about it. We can actually arguably get disproportionately upset about it. And you have to ask the question, what's that person really done to me? Like, if I was to take all of my discomfort that I'm feeling as a result of this, whether it's someone that's pushed in on a queue, or I'll give you an example in a second, how much of it is down to them and how much of it are we actively doing to ourselves? So I think there are kind of like two sides to the coin here. I definitely don't think rudeness, as it's often meant, is a good thing. It is something we should all take consideration of. We should all not be rude, obviously. We should all ultimately just consider other people. But on the other hand, we also owe it to not see the worst in people and to try to see them how they are. Now, my eyes were open to this just a few days ago, and I had a nice little polite reminder from the universe when I was queuing at a 7-Eleven, as you do in many Asian countries. I was, I think, 7 miles into a 10-mile walk, and I really needed a bottle of water, so I thought, oh God, let's just go and buy one from the local 7-Eleven. And there were two cashiers, but one of them was shut, and there was one queue forming in front of the second cashier, and there was about 6 or 7 people in the queue, and I was near the back. And then what then happened is this cashier then opened up, and the guy goes, "Who's waiting?" And rather than serve the existing queue and all those people then spread themselves into those in a first come first served basis, no, a whole new bunch of people just went, "Oh, we're waiting," and just completely skipped that prior queue and went there. I didn't say anything, obviously. I was a bit like, yeah, okay, that's slightly annoying, but whatever. What have I lost? I lost a couple of minutes that I did not know I was going to have 2 minutes ago, so big deal. But I did kind of think a little bit of me, sort of thought, oh, that's quite inconsiderate of those people, actually. They really should have noticed that we were waiting here, and actually, to be fair, we probably should have gone there first. Anyway, paid for my bottle of water, walked on. Then, 30 seconds later, I'm walking past an elderly old lady, disabled, probably homeless, selling tissues. And very few people really buy those tissues because they need tissues. Most people buy them because they take pity on these women and want to give them money. And one of the girls that had 30 seconds earlier, to my eye, jumped the prior queue and shown a bit of rudeness, well, there she was, handing over a few ringgits to this dear old lady. And first I thought to myself, I'm glad I didn't say anything just now. I'm glad that I just sat there and kept my mouth shut and didn't pass judgment, even though it would have been very easy to, and even though it would have been a high probability that these people were just being inconsiderate. And in return, if you want to see it this way, the universe kind of gave me a little prize, and it said, look, that girl did not jump the queue necessarily because of being inconsiderate or because of rudeness. Probably more likely a lack of awareness, or ignorance, if you like. And look, we're all ignorant about something. We all lack awareness of everything. In many ways, the process of growth and living life is a process of growing in awareness. If we're all perfectly aware all the time, then why would we need to even go through that process? So there's an old saying that I really like, which is that you should never attribute to malice what can be attributed to incompetence. It's kind of true, if not, still with a slightly cynical tone to it. But at the end of the day, most people mean well, and it's very tempting sometimes to ascribe rudeness to something that is just a lack of awareness. If you were that old person scrambling around for your next ringgit, your next dollar, then you can bet your bottom dollar that those same people would probably come to help you. And so, as tempting as it may feel, as prominent as the animal mind may be sometimes, as utterly convincing as it may be that these people are rude, they perhaps need to be taught a lesson, the reality is often not that at all. It is often that they simply aren't aware, just as many of us aren't aware, and we can't expect them to be aware all the time. That would be ridiculous. And so we need to train ourselves in this. Where there's any doubt whatsoever, we need we owe it to everyone else that we practice this habit of giving people the benefit of a doubt where there is doubt, and there more than often is some doubt, even when it doesn't necessarily seem like it at first. So I hope that was useful, guys. I shall chat to you next time.